Welcome to the show, man. This is the Talk Life podcast. The weird thing is, I don't know if it's recording from the phone or recording from up there, but we're on the road, we're driving, and me and MDI just got talking about the craziness that is life, because both her and I, like, obviously, we're high school sweethearts.
Obviously.
Yeah, well, and we've been together for a long time. Yeah, come on. But the strange thing is how much, like, there was a lot of chances that you and I could have met, like, even way sooner in life. Yeah, even absolutely. Way sooner. Because we got talking about, originally we were talking about the train station in Detroit that's just been revamped. Excuse me. And so we grew up across the pond from Detroit in that area. And so we got talking about that. But my family, when we would go to the States, we would go up to Sarnia to go across the border. Where,
which is weird. You would go north.
Yeah, to end up going in
northwest.
Yeah.
To get to Michigan.
Yeah.
Because that's not Detroit up there.
No, up there it's, I don't even know. It's Michigan something. You've never gone across at Sarnia?
No, I've always gone down to the States. Sorry.
No, that's okay.
We should mention I've also had a mini stroke. Oh. So my speech is not going to be the perfect.
Yeah.
But I'm doing my best.
Right. And the kind of one of the reasons that I've sprung this on her is since the stroke, she hasn't wanted to podcast because she's worried about how she will sound.
Well, because I sound like a...
No.
I don't even know. What do you sound like?
You sound like you had a stroke.
Oh.
Like, that's it. Like, certain things, like, it's just, unfortunately, the left side of her face is paralyzed.
Might come back. We're not sure yet.
Yeah,
It's only been about a month.
So, yeah, she had a TIA, which is a mini stroke. Yeah, that's like the abbreviation for what it is. 2 weeks ago? 3 weeks ago now? It's almost been a month?
It'll be 4 weeks on Saturday, and this is Wednesday.
That's crazy.
So 3.5 weeks.
So, yeah, unfortunately, because of and if anybody's been following along, Jesus, Murphy, my wife has more shit happen to her than anybody on this fucking planet. In my opinion. I guess I don't know everybody. Yeah. Definitely seems like that.
But anyway, going back to our childhood.
Yeah.
We used to go over to the States, different cities.
Yeah, we would both go to Michigan, but we would go different ways. I would go up. What was Sarnia? Was Sarnia a ferry?
I've never gone there.
Fuck. For some reason, I think it was a ferry. But I can't remember. But anyway, or they have, is it the Ambassador Bridge? What's the one that...
Yes. The one you take over to Detroit is the Ambassador Bridge. And my family used to take it always. We would go a few times during the summer. Usually twice, maybe 3, depending. We would usually go for Jays versus Tigers series in the summer.
Okay.
And I'll stay at a hotel. I'm talking my family, 2 or 3 of my aunts and uncles and their children, and my grandparents.
Damn.
It was really fun. And some of us were Tigers fans, and some of us were Blue Jay fans. Mm-hmm. So there was always a rivalry.
Oh, yeah.
Between us and everything, too. So that was kind of funny.
Yeah, no shit. That's awesome. We would go maybe once a summer, one day. It was a one-day event. We would go, I'd go with my Mim and my Pip, which, Grandma and Grandpa, for anybody. And they were the zaniest couple of characters. My grandfather was very quiet and stoic, big mountain of a man. And then my grandmother was a tiny little bitch. And she just was just everything sucked and fuck you was pretty much it. And part of the atmosphere, I don't know, of going over was me and Bill would sit in the back and listen to them bicker. And the majority of it was just Mim bickering to Pip and him not really listening. He would put like Johnny Cash or like Red Sovine and like a lot of like that old time sort of like, what do you call? I don't even know what you call it. It wasn't exactly folk, but there would be music in the background, and essentially there would be a guy talking over top of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it wasn't.
It's like a crooner almost.
Almost, yeah, like but like an old school. Like I don't even know. But yeah, so in.
He would try to ignore her.
Yeah, and just like essentially he would be like, Max, just look out the window and enjoy the trip, and that was not in her repertoire.
And then I do believe there's been times where you told me that you used to threaten to kick her out the moving vehicle.
Yes, and that was the fun. Essentially, that was the moment that me and Bill were always waiting for. Is eventually he would unbuckle her seatbelt and start reaching across and opening her door, and she like obviously he wasn't going to actually throw her out.
Well, no.
But it would make her go fucking batshit because he's just like, all right, Max, I'm throwing you out of the fucking car, and me and Bill would just be in the back like, holy fuck, is he gonna chuck her out of the car? Never happened. After it closed, he would just kind of do a little and then just have this smile on his face, and he would look up in the rearview mirror at me and Bill, and just like you could tell he was like laughing, and she would just be like, like so fucking mad. But yeah, essentially we would go across, we would shop at Target, or as we call it, Target, because we could get shit for cheap, and they had toys that we didn't have in Canada, and I think we would each get like one thing until like we were a little older. Yeah, once we were a little older and we were getting like allowance money or stuff like that, then we'd be able to buy whatever we wanted. But for the most part, it was like we'd go over, we'd each get a G.I. Joe, and then and I'm talking the little G.I. Joes from the 80s, 90s, not the big ones. Yeah, which are awesome. Like I don't know why they're not still a thing, but I guess kids are kind of over that little sized guy or whatever. But fucking G.I. Joe was the tits back in the day. And no, that's okay. And then we would always go to eat at Ponderosa. I don't even know if those still exist. I think they might have closed down, but I have no idea.
I'm not sure either.
Yeah, and then we would come back across or whatever, and that was it. That was the day of it. Totally not as cool as going to a baseball game and having all that fun, but it was our own. Like we were poor, right? So we made our own like.
We went over just to shop. We usually went over to do like back to school shopping.
Okay.
Because it was a lot cheaper over there. Unless you always had to keep an eye on the dollar. See where the dollar was at.
I don't know if do people still do that? Like it was a big fucking deal when we were young. Yeah. Like I remember hearing all the time, like the dollar's up, the dollar's down, and like.
Now I think the Canadian dollar has more worth.
Yeah, it's probably in the fucking tank now. We fucking suck.
We've gone off.
Oh, yeah. Tangents abound. Reel that back in.
We could have possibly run into each other as children and didn't even know it.
Yeah. No, and I guarantee we did. Go ahead.
Both of us were at the semifinals for Chatham-Kent in 7th grade for shot put.
Yep.
So we would have been at the exact same high school all together. We maybe were there at different times, but there's odds are we were there relatively the same time.
Well, yeah.
We could have crossed paths, not path crossed.
We could have path crossed.
Yeah, we could have. You never know. We could have annoyed each other. Like we could have, because I always remember boys being annoying as hell. And at that age, at 7.
Oh, absolutely. And then cooties and whatnot.
I never really was big on cooties. It was mostly you're annoying. Fuck off.
Yeah, I hear that.
That's fuck off.
That was a strokey fuck off. F's are tough. Fuck off.
Yeah.
But yeah, and like, I guarantee there's I bet we did. I bet we crossed paths. I bet we saw each other. Something, because if I can remember correctly, was the shot put in the morning or the afternoon?
Morning.
That's what I thought. So I participated in the morning, but then I was there with Cooch. Yeah, because Cooch was doing what's the really long run? 800 meter? I don't remember. Either way, like it's...
One of your friends was doing it.
Yeah.
Maybe, I don't know if we should call him Cooch on that.
Well, yeah, I guess Coochie now means pussy, isn't it? His name was Coocher, so we called him Cooch. This might be just a bird.
But anyway, you had to wait for him.
We were there all day.
Yeah.
So there is a very good chance that we, in fact, ran into each other, saw each other.
Plus, the other thing we just realized, well, we talked about it a couple times.
Yeah, but we were just talking about it now.
Your family used to frequent, held my cheek up for that one.
It's a good one.
My great uncle Kenny's auction house that was in a little village called Cedar Springs in Ontario, and I spent all kinds of time there as a kid.
And that's insane.
I was there all the time. We used to go through stuff and be like, because when different things came in, like he would have, like he would go to a state sales and get stuff that he thought they were selling for real cheap.
Yeah, that he could make a profit off of.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because he knew more about antiques and stuff, right?
Absolutely.
So he'd get shipments of stuff in, and we'd go through it and organize it. And, chairs go with chairs, and nightstands go with nightstands or whatever. It was pretty much, like child labor. But all of us cousins thought it was fun, because...
Well, yeah, you're like, look at all this shit we all gotta do.
Back in the 90s, or early 90s,
early 90s.
Late 80s, early 90s.
Yeah.
Until we got old enough that we'd be like, I want to go hang out with friends.
Yeah. Organizing your stuff is fine.
Right?
But I now have a social life.
Once you're like 13, 14 years old, you're like, I don't really want to hang out at the auction house anymore.
Yeah, and it's funny, like, I don't even know why. We would go, and...
your grandfather was always looking for a find.
No, absolutely. But because...
He probably bought a whole bunch of those goddamn records at Uncle Kenny's.
Absolutely.
And, like, shit that we've had to go through and throw out.
Yeah, when we were fucking dealing with my mom's house. Yeah, like, probably. Excuse me.
It's crazy. Like, I wish there was, like, found footage, Like,
yeah.
Just, even if it's grainy and really stupid, just be like, this is you, like, circle me, and then circle you and be like, you were actually at the same thing.
No, I've said it a million times, because so it's very odd, my reference, if you don't video game, but the Grand Theft Auto, I don't know about the newer ones, but I remember San Andreas had this, where, like, if you hit the select menu, you could, what you looking at, motherfucker? You could hit the select menu, and it would literally tell you everything, like how many places you robbed, how many vehicles you've blown up, all your stats. And I've said a million times, I want that in real life. Yeah. And then I want the ability to be like, okay, show me 1989. Yeah, like show like if there was any bridge, and like I bet it fucking it would floor us.
We could look at our stats where we actually
cross paths. That's a tough one for you today.
I know, right? They would be green. They would match.
Oh, that'd be so cool. That'd be insane. Because I guarantee we did. I guarantee there was quite a few times that we crossed paths that have no clue.
Said, like, no offense, I love you and everything.
Oh, okay. Where's this going?
But I've always said that I thought you were kind of creepy in the beginning.
Oh, I was a total creeper.
Because you were
Yeah.
From the first sight.
Absolutely.
From the first time I said I was a singer. And you would not stop staring at me from that day.
I did not know how to flirt. I had no idea.
You actually had the bright idea to date one of my friends.
Yeah.
To try to get closer to me.
Yes.
And then you actually fell for her. So
Yeah.
That didn't go well.
I did not.
But you made it back to me.
Eventually, yes. But that's, yeah, like, our story is extremely strange, and I love it, but it's so weird. And I guarantee there's weirdness, like you said, that we couldn't even put together. Because, yeah, and I don't remember, like, I know why Pip went to the auction. I'm assuming I went for child labor myself to carry it to the car.
Well, it was something to do and not just sit at home all goddamn day.
Well, and I don't...
It was probably on rainy days.
Or...
Like where you couldn't fish or you couldn't
I'm assuming...
swim or something.
Yeah, no, I'm assuming actually it was probably on days where Bill would actually do something with his dad. And because I didn't have a dad,
Do things with your dad.
I think that Pip would take me places.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Yeah, and I remember being, for the most part, bored out of my fucking mind looking at all this old shit. But that's where I started to see musical instruments.
Yeah.
And I saw people buy drums and guitars and different things. And I was like, huh.
Yeah, he had like everything there. I was really sad when they closed it down. Like, obviously, he passed.
Yeah.
He passed for quite a while.
Yeah, and it's not like anybody wanted to keep it going or anything.
I thought his son would. Because he lives in the same area. But
Just not his passion, I guess.
It was just not worth it, you know?
Well, in a lot of things, unfortunately.
You can't sink your money into stuff.
Well, no.
And just go broke.
Here's the thing, though. I don't know how many antique stores really exist anymore because of the internet. Now you can sell your shit on eBay or Kijiji or any of those other fucking things. You don't have to go to a necessarily like a pawn shop or a antique store or an auction house to do any of that. I think auctions still happen, but largely I believe it's just houses and cars now.
Really expensive stuff.
Yeah. And I'm sure you could probably still get some sort of deal in regards to it. But for the most part, I just remember sitting for a long time. And, like, there was so much that, like, we just sat there and watched, and Pip had no plans on buying or anything. And, like, I don't know, it's cool. If you've never been to an auction, it's very interesting because originally you kind of mingle with people and you walk around and you take a look at a bunch of shit. And then slowly they work their way through that stuff, and people get to have the paddles and whatnot, or raise their hand and shit and different things. And so it was a pretty cool experience. But again, like a lot of experiences, as a child, it falls flat on you, right? Like you're just
you don't
like,
understand how cool it is when you're a kid. You just think, oh my god, this is boring.
yeah, you're like, Jesus, I could be sitting and doing nothing at home. But like I said, that sparked my interest in musical instruments, and then eventually we started a band and whatnot. And I have no idea. Pip got it for me, so there's a good chance it could have came from there. I have no idea. I still have that guitar to this day, and one day I would like to put it up on the wall because I have a hanging thing and all that stuff. But we've moved around so much. I'm hoping eventually we can settle down and I can showcase that a little bit. I haven't played. I don't think so. Because it is banged up, it's haggard. I used to fucking smash that thing. Like, it probably doesn't even work.
No, that's why I said refurbish, but if you don't want to fix it, then that's cool.
It all depends on where we are and what we're doing in the next 10 years or so. Because deep down, I would love to actually pick up a guitar and maybe get lessons and learn how to actually play it rather than just tabs.
Yeah, because you were not that great, no offense.
No, I know I was not that great. I was never taught properly.
You're a songwriter.
Yeah, I could write the lyrics. I could arrange the music.
Yeah.
But when it came to actually writing, oh, fuck me. What are we? Okay, yeah. But yeah, guitar, I was just not.
6100, 6100.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Well, so far, I don't think there's anybody here, but you gotta slow down because that's the law. But anyway, yeah, like, I liked playing guitar, but I would like to actually learn how to play the guitar. And now that I know things that I know, like, I'd rather switch out what I have and put humbuckers in and that sort of thing, and make it sound a lot better than it is.
You might as well be speaking Spanish.
Oh, yeah.
Actually, I do understand quite a bit of Spanish. Let's go.
A whole wheel of cheese?
Japanese.
Not even mad. Oh, okay.
Also, back there a little bit, you were talking, so I didn't interrupt, but I did see a head swimming in the water.
Beavers. See, there was I went down for nothing there.
When the sign says you gotta listen.
I definitely understand. Well, that's crazy. You saw a beaver and an owl so far.
I did see an owl earlier. It was so cool.
So yeah,
I wasn't sure it was real until it moved its head, and then I lost my shit.
Yeah.
But it was too late for you to see it.
Yeah. It's fine. I didn't want to see a fucking owl. But no, that's awesome. That's one of the things, like, there's not a lot of great things to where we live, unfortunately. But driving around, and just, like, we're just cruising. And like, this is pretty much what we do on weekends or whatever. We'll just kind of search and look for animals. We've seen a bunch of animals. We've seen a lynx, which is insane. Yeah, it was fucking incredible. We've seen lots of bears, lots of eagles. Yeah. Yeah, a little bit of each. A lot of herons.
Oh yeah, herons are so pretty.
Or yeah, herons, right?
Yeah. Or you can call them cranes.
Cranes, yeah.
I think the ones we see actually are not herons.
Yeah, I think they're cranes. You're right.
But you always say heron because we used to see blue herons all the time.
Yeah.
In Alberta when we lived there. Mm-hmm. So you're getting them confused.
Yeah, they're similar but different.
They're like brown and orange. They have some amazing like orange fucking feathers on their head. They're pretty cool.
Yeah, and then we've seen what do you call them? Groundhogs and yeah, ferrets or stouts. Yeah, we call them little buggers. I've seen ferrets and stouts and little things like that.
Oh my god, that little white one that we saw.
Oh my god, we should go back over there. Yeah, just running around. Yeah, they'll be brown or something now. But anyway, in case we stop talking and we're looking at things, that's what we're doing. We're searching for animals. But yeah, no, it's fucking insane that we could have crossed paths many years before. And like, I know it's easy to be like, well, maybe we would have been together a lot longer, but we probably needed to grow that little bit.
Plus, you had girlfriends from the time you were like 10 or 11 years old.
Oh yeah, hoes everywhere.
Girlfriends, mostly summer girlfriends, right?
Probably.
Well, I remember Lori being your summer girlfriend.
Yeah, I think summer girlfriends were a thing.
Because she didn't live in the same town as us.
Right.
So we only saw her in summer.
True. Yeah, jeez, I didn't even think that. But yeah, it's, I don't know.
Yeah, that's what you told me.
No. I'm saying that she didn't even pop in my head.
Oh, rude.
I know. Yeah. Well, that's the thing. I'm fucking 40. Gonna be 41 next month. Like, I barely remember anything.
She's good. It's not like she's upset.
Yeah, no, she's fine. She's married with kids, as are we. Yeah, I don't know. It's just very cool. Life is very cool the way it works out. And I'm just curious. Is there any? Well, I guess Chris's setup's kind of along the same lines. They met early on when he was in the band, and then they didn't get together.
In probably grade 10 or 11.
Something, yeah, something like that. I don't know.
Yeah, they met in high school. We were in high school, and then like they didn't date or anything. They just met, and then years later, probably 5 or 6 years later, they met again, like after college and everything. And yeah, ended up getting married and 2 boys, beautiful boys.
That's awesome. Yeah, I'm just curious if you're listening and you have any sort of interesting stories about how you met your spouse and that sort of thing. Drop it in the comments. Like if you're listening on YouTube, drop it in the comments. If you're listening on a podcast catching app like Apple or Spotify, I guess you can't really do that, but you could check the show notes. You can go on any of our social media and just write a little blurb. We're on Facebook, Instagram. I fuck around on TikTok. So you can find all of our shit there. And then, yeah, just let me know kind of your setup and how you met, or maybe you knew them early on and then it didn't come to. Maybe you thought that he was a long-haired creep in the corner with a trench coat.
How weird was it that he dated your friend?
Yeah.
Ew.
So strange.
And of course, she was all like, he says he doesn't even know who you are. Because she was one of my very close friends. So I had told her, like, this guy is a creep. He stares at me in English class all the time. And so she had to prove me wrong. But anyway.
Yeah. Meh.
Not as close of a friend as I thought, I guess.
Apparently not. But, c'est la vie. Everybody is in their 40s now, so none of it matters. But, yeah. And I don't necessarily know that this is the end of the show, but in case it is, you can, like I said, check us out on all the social media. You can get your podcasts and everything at nftfyb.com. So we got no fucking time for your bullshit.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's an easy way to. You actually, I think you can leave comments and stuff on there. So head over there and write your stuff out. And yeah, everything's there. Links to all of our stuff, so you can reach out. I'm good.
I'm on Instagram mostly.
Yeah, you've started posting again, which is good.
Just a little bit.
Little bit.
Definitely not my face.
I know.
I look like Quasimodo.
You got to be easier on yourself.
Dude, my left eye is so Quasimodo.
It's not Quasi. No, Quasi was like a freak. You are not a freak. You just look like a pretty woman who had a fucking stroke. That's it.
Okay.
But yeah, I don't know. I'm good. Are you good?
I'm good.
All right, say goodbye to the people.